Leafs beat the St. Louis Blues. You know what that means. The Toronto Maple Leafs are now retroactively 2019 Stanley Cup champions. And the Leafs get Alex Steen back. That's how it works for sure. And Bozak and Gunnarsson. Yeah, they played for the Carlisle Leafs. They've been through enough. That's true. You can't have everything. Hi, kids. Victorious puppies. This team is ruining my life. Why do I watch hockey? Stress relief. We can. And we will. Iggy, oh, the drool victory puppies! Has it been that long? My God! I'm gonna think there's a... Oh, thank you. Yes, okay, I forgive you. Remember that time they won? Woo! Do you want me to leave you alone? Alright. I know, right? He's made a few of those. Shout out to Rico Von Rico1 on Twitter for making that. It's pretty cool. Leafs win! 5-2 over the St. Louis Blues, becoming the retroactive Stanley Cup champions. That's how it works. The Leafs actually beat a team that beat Boston in Game 7 in TD Garden, so it's like 2019, 18, and 13 never happened. Even when they win, I still hurt inside. What were we talking about? Yes, a few weeks ago, it was just give me one, and now it's another one. Now this fan base is alive! The win column is full! And the coffee is good. That's Timothy's coffee, mon ami. That's French. I know French. And so is this side of the box. If you didn't have me to translate, you'd never know what cafe meant. I'm sorry, can we appreciate the artwork? I assume the coffee is good at this establishment, but can we look at the victory puppy here? It's a dog-friendly establishment. And actually, who threw the ball for this dog? I mean, they would have to be outside the box. Maybe I should get back on track. It's good. Real good. Man, there's a lot going on. Andreas Johnsson with a heroic block in the Colorado game, a game that just refused to go in the Leafs' favor. And guess what? He's out for a month. Andreas Johnsson now on LTIR. That means he's missing a minimum of 10 games. You can call that shenanigans. I call it the guy got hurt. But it allows the Leafs to recall Martin Marincin, Nick Petan, who was in the lineup, and Pontus Aberg, who was on the top line. And by the way, thank you to all the Swedish people who reached out. I think it's like Aberg. You have to understand that that melts North American brains, including mine, and it's a puddle. It's not very big brain. Don't let its casing fool you. They were calling him Aberg on the broadcast. I'm gonna continue to call him Aberg just because that's all I can handle. But I gotta say, his performance was A+. At the beginning of the game, he wasn't very crisp, and in fact, a lot of the Leafs' passes weren't very crisp, and that resulted in the St. Louis Blues getting, by my count, 3 scoring chances in the first 3 minutes. The Leafs, of course, got 1-2, and then their second one was Zach Hyman getting set up by Mitch Marner. Bang! 1-0. But I'm skipping ahead. That's not what I was talking about. Aberg, I thought, was absolutely fantastic in his first game as a Leaf, and I gotta admit, I was worried. He's the Marlies' top scorer, and if you go back and look at his NHL resume, you go, what is this guy doing in the minors? He's an NHL level scorer. That's never been in dispute, really. The issue, according to people that I've spoken to, is his defensive play and actually his effort. And some people might have saw his numbers in the minors and gone, well, Keefe obviously knows the trick. Well, the thing about the minors is you can have a flaw, but if you're skilled enough, you can just overcome it with that skill. Like, there's a reason TJ Brennan was a consistent 60 or 70 point scorer as a defender in the American Hockey League and could barely crack the NHL regularly. Meanwhile, in this game, Aberg was a forechecking and back-checking machine. He obviously didn't score the first goal. That belonged to another forechecking machine that the Leafs have, but I just wanted to give him kudos. This guy was unreal. And Marlies heads will tell you, Kenny Agostino has been unbelievable with the Marlies too. The Leafs have a plethora of options on the wing. So people keep asking, hey, if the Leafs are going to make a trade. No, that's where it comes from. The Leafs straight up have like 6 lines worth of NHL forwards. That's not their issue. On the first goal, Mitch Marner, God, this guy's hungry. He doesn't look like he's missed a step. Hungry on the forecheck, steals the puck, and he goes across the line. Oh, is he offside? I don't know, because the puck is already in the back of the net. This is hockey in 2019. I don't know if I'm supposed to celebrate because that goal might be offside. But it turns out Mitch and El Capitan, John Tavares, stayed onside. Mitch throws it over to Zach, who blasts it. What? You go, Zach Attack. He scores again. This guy won't stop, and it's 1-0 Leafs after a bit of a harrowing start. Thank you, Freddie. Speaking of which, Hyman scored against Colorado, and he waved at someone, and I was like, who the heck was he waving at? We have confirmation that this wave was to 2 members of the Leafs staff Hyman worked with during his recovery. They told him to wave save if he scored at home. That tweet coming from Tic Tac Tomar. I think the information came from the Hockey Night broadcast. Zach Hyman, noted awesome person. That's unreal. And then he took that goal-scoring touch from home and he took it on the road to Missouri. Now, shortly after, the Blues chip it into the Leafs zone, but it's okay. Travis Dermott has it, and Travis! Every Leaf sweater in this photo is heading towards Freddie. Why? Put it around! Robert Thomas gets the puck, gives it to Barbashev. Oh my god, that was a loud goalpost. And in 1-1. Like, that's not attention to detail. That's just careless. Travis Dermott is an extremely creative and skilled player, and I really think he's finding a stride under Sheldon Keefe. But dude, behind the back passes with traffic in your own zone, it's probably not going to work out. Very shortly after, however, Pontus Aberg creating the turnover, and William Nylander fights for it in the race, and he takes it. He's got Matthews with him, but Bouwmeester's on him, so they do the little crisscross. Willie leaves it for Austin. Austin Matthews! Between Justin Falk's legs and Bennington's, and it's a 2-1 Leafs lead. That's Matthews' signature shot, and also, how is that his signature shot? He's got to shoot between the defender's legs. How much space is that? And he can put it anywhere. He can put it 5-hole. He can roof it. He can wrap it and then give it to you for Christmas. It's staggering! And it all starts with a hard-working defensive play from Aberg in his own zone and William Nylander's awareness. Man, Matthews needed that, and he earned it, frankly. Matthews has been criticized for his defensive play recently. I've done some of that, and yeah, for 11.6, you gotta be better than that. But some of the criticism that I've seen over the past couple games is that he's not scoring goals. What? Like, it's one thing if he's not even getting chances, but he was. You saw against Colorado, he could have had 2 there. Puck went in this game, didn't go in the last game. Hockey. And the irony is that the game that preceded this one was against Colorado, where Philip Grubauer stood on his head. This game looked identical to the Colorado game in Colorado. Leafs go up 4-1 in the first period. They chase a goalie who's supposed to be really good. Almost joke. I saw a bunch of people going, well, the Leafs got lucky tonight. Like this is like a lucky token that you can turn in. They've had a fair amount of unlucky nights as well. Let's just take this one and be happy. After that, Leafs get into penalty trouble. Don't do that. David Perron has the puck. He's standing still and just tosses a pizza right onto Pierre Engvall's enormous stick. Google says giraffes can run about 60 kilometers an hour, and there he goes! Daddy Longneck over to noted sniper Zach Hyman, his second of the game. What? And it's 3-1 Leafs. Shorty. If I'm not mistaken, that's 3 career points for Pierre Engvall, 2 of them coming shorthanded, one of them being his first career NHL goal. Dude, the Leafs have 2 wingers out of the lineup right now, Andreas Johnsson and Trevor Moore. Trevor Moore's coming back soon. Timashov sat tonight. Gauthier sat in this game. How do you sit Engvall? You can't. You can't. He's too good. Especially the penalty killing aspect, and the penalty kill has been super good under Keefe and with Engvall. I'm telling you, man, they lost Nick Shore, and they still have 6 NHL lines worth of forwards. What about the defense, Steve? We're having a good time. You stop it! But the Leafs won't stop it. Here they go! The Leafs get the power play this time. All right, Morgan Rielly working it to the point, and what a bomb from Tyson. Was that Jason Spezza? Yeah! Morgan Rielly setting up Jason Spezza for a goal for the Leafs this time, and it's a 4-1. Jason Spezza with the bomb, huh? What's in this? Dude, okay. And dude, that was the Leafs' full new look second power play unit here. That was Jason Spezza, Morgan Rielly, who's now on the second power play unit, Nick Patan, Alex Kerfoot, and Kasperi Kapanen. They needed it, and when you're going, you're going. Leafs up 4-1 after 1, and that's it for Bennington. Chased for the first time in his NHL career. Reminder that the other night Grubauer made like 40 saves on the Leafs, and they deserve this. Sometimes the puck goes in. Speaking of sometimes the puck goes in, halfway through the second, Jake Allen now in net. The Leafs have a power play again. The puck takes approximately 430 bounces until it lands practically on the goal line, and Matthews still somehow roofs it. The Leafs earned this game. Matthews earned this game. I don't care. 5-1 Leafs. The goal is credited as Austin Matthews from Marner, and Marner alone. Sure, I believe you, whatever. Thought you could have given Tavares an assist on that one. You could have given like 19 Blues the assist on that one. Like, what was that? Regressing to the mean, I think. And the Leafs head into the third period with a 5-1 lead. Here's how damaged this fan base is. When the 5-1 goal went in, we all went, When the St. Louis Blues fire it on, Travis Dermott looks confused in front. David Perron gets the easy tip in to make it a 5-2 game. We all clinched. It is way too early in the period to have that happen, and you think 4-1 leads are the only leads that scar us. No. I hate the loser point, and I'll tell you why I hate the loser point, because of the St. Louis Blues. When I was a kid, just a little boy, the Leafs were up 5-0 on the St. Louis Blues. The Blues won that game 6-5 in overtime. Steve, did you yell back then like you do now? Yep, I got grounded. And the Leafs got a point for that game, and I was like, dude, you can't give up a 5-goal lead in the third period and get a point in the standings. What? So forgive me for being a little scarred, and perhaps Sheldon Keefe watched that game because he called a timeout. Sheldon Keefe's got this half smirk on his face as if to say, boys, 3-goal lead in the third period. You're all NHL players. Should be able to handle it. I know you're thinking it. I was thinking it too. That's why I called this. Just want y'all to chill. Okay? Just chill. Which, of course, is a breath of fresh air compared to a few weeks ago when Babcock would not have taken a timeout and instead would have said, okay, Shore's gonna take every face-off and go to net now. So, because the Leafs finally found a way to sort of kill the momentum there, because the Blues came out on fire in the third period, Troy Brouwer tries to get something going. And I tweeted about it, which you shouldn't do. And it got some people mad, so let's talk about it. Brouwer's so garbage. Wow, starting on fire. Slashes Dermott. Dermott says something. Brouwer can't wait to fight Dermott because Dermott's actually good and the Leafs are defending a lead. Now first let me point out what a bunch of you said. Well, it was Dermott's fault on both goals. Oh. Okay, fine, but he's still a good player and Brouwer knows, well, hey, I'm a bum and he's a defender for the Leafs, so I'm gonna try to get him off the ice. That was the intention. That's hockey. What, you never watched hockey before? What, I guess you've never seen hockey before. Oh, he's trying to spark his team. I know what he's trying to do, actually. He does not belong in the lineup when the Blues are healthy. Does not. And Travis Dermott is a valuable part of the Leafs defense. He wanted to get Dermott off the ice. I get the strategy, actually. But this is an accurate description of what happened. Troy Brouwer slashed Travis Dermott in the skate, causing Dermott to buckle. After the whistle, Dermott slashed Brouwer's stick. Brouwer clobbers Dermott in the face with his gloves or stick or both. Dermott shoves him back in the chest. Brouwer drops his gloves immediately and starts throwing punches. Dermott, with both gloves still on, is holding on for dear life. Brouwer, still throwing punches. Dermott says, I might as well drop my gloves, at least for the better grip. So he does that. And then they punch each other, and by punch each other, I mean Brouwer kind of just punches him repeatedly. And then, naturally, the penalties are 5 minutes apiece for fighting. And we know that because Wes McCauley got to go up there and do his little dance. 5 minutes for fighting! Hey Hollywood, once you're done in your little trailer there, why don't you call the game, huh? Call what? Oh, take your pick. The slash, the cross-check, the instigator. Guy had his gloves off. Dermott doesn't. He's throwing punches. Dermott's not. Instigating! Even Blues fans, by admitting, well, he's just trying to ignite his team. So you acknowledge it is to his benefit to instigate, there's that word again, the fight! Guys used to do that all the time. Guys used to deliver milk to your door as well. Look, I get what Brouwer was trying to do, and I understand it. And if that's the only way he can spark his team, I kind of get it and like it. But there's got to be consequences. The guy's barely in the league, and he takes out one of the Leafs' top 6 defensemen. The strategy is obvious. How you don't give him at least an extra 2 is staggering to me. Like, they called that the Leafs' first fighting major of the season. Does anyone feel like that was a fight? Anyone? Hockey's so soft, hockey these days, throwing words at me like they're George Carlin. Buddy, you're not as smart as George Carlin. You might want to calm down. And you'll notice it was Dermott, too. Later in the game, Braden Shen thought about starting something with Jake Muzzin, and he didn't because he didn't want to open that door. Still got a ring, bro. Yeah, now you have something to use as a flint in your cave. I had a bunch of people tweeting Kadri stuff at me like, what? If we're pulling former players into this, we might be here a while. Call it what it was, Troy Brouwer attacking an NHL player. Man, there was UFC on last night. Alistair Overeem's face practically exploded. If you want to see that, go and watch it. And don't watch it by yourself, invite a few of your friends, and there you can talk about the good old days. Did I get heated? I got a little heated. Freddie Andersen makes a couple more staggering stops. This guy's unbelievable, and the Leafs beat the reigning Stanley Cup champions as they head into their Western Canadian road trip. Questions. When can we start the Andersen jar? Is it dumb that I'm starting to get anxious about re-signing him? Tisha, yes! The guy is a Leaf! He's signed to a contract. Holy smokes, what we just went through this summer and last year and basically for the last year and a half. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. We have far bigger fish to fry just in the season that we're in. Enjoy it. He's a Leaf. Chill. Not a question, but the Dermott fight was the Leafs' first fighting major of the season. Yesterday was December 7th, LOL. Yeah, I know, it took them a while. I will say this, I don't see that lasting. But like, Sheldon Keefe teams are not afraid to fight. Those guys fight down in the minors, man. And don't let the Troy Brouwer rant confuse you. Like, I'm not completely opposed to fighting in hockey. Like, if one guy says you want to go and the other guy drops his gloves and they both fight, what's wrong with that? They're mutual combatants. It's slashing a guy in the foot, drilling him in the face, and then jumping the gun with the gloves that I don't like. What is honorable about that? What about the code is that? I think by the end of the season, the Leafs will have like half a dozen fights. Watch. Is it just me? Or I kind of get excited when we have to kill a penalty now. Oh boy, Cliff. Because Engvall and Hyman are so fun to watch. If you have to rank Engvall, Moore, and Timmy, how would you rank them? Oh boy. Oh, that's tough. Engvall's number one. Easily. And I'm sorry. I just really, really like his skill set. He's like a creative player, man. He's tall. He's fast. He can shoot. He's creative, he's smart. Timashov is a tenacious worker and I think has an underrated shot. Trevor Moore just provides something that I think the Leafs lack. He'll hit anything that moves. He knows how to get goals in the dirty areas. So I would probably rank it Engvall, Moore, Timashov. Leafs power play under Keefe is 42%. Is it? Leafs PK under Keefe is 90%. Is this good? With the power play, I mean, it's obviously not going to stay at 42% all season. You're going to go through heaters, you're going to go through slumps with the power play. I get that. The penalty kill was way more concerning to me, man, because they were just getting shelled and ripped apart every night. The fact that they're 90% under Keefe, I like it. Also, like, maybe it's just percentages and maybe the Leafs are just riding a heater when it comes to the power play, when it comes to the penalty kill, but it's more and more supporting my theory that Paul McFarland, Dave Haxtell, I don't really think they were allowed to implement their plans under Babcock. I don't. If they were, why do the power play and penalty kill look completely different? I wanted to give one final shout out to noted Norris contending winger for the Peterborough Petes, Nick Robertson. We raised $300 for Autism Ontario, the Peterborough chapter, with our Nick Robertson is a forward shirts, and he donated another $500. Here's the check presentation right here. There's $800 to Autism Ontario Peterborough. Thanks to everyone who got a shirt. I can't believe this ridiculousness ended up in some good, so thank you to the Petes and Nick for that. If you'd like to make a donation to Autism Ontario Peterborough, I'll put a link down below. Just as an Oshawa resident, I'm not supposed to love the Petes, but thank you. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends that ahead of the holiday season, my book is still for sale. Have I mentioned that? Oh, I'm going to be doing a signing downtown Toronto next Sunday. I just can't tell you about it yet, but that's where it's going to be.